Here are our news headlines for this evening. The decision into the inquest of the death of Joseph Hafeikitama has been determined. More reports from the Niue High Court. Horticultural consultant Brian Paxton gives advice on how to maintain fruit and nut trees on the island in a practical demonstration workshop yesterday. Year 10 to 12 students perform a speech dialogue of a character in a legend for the Wangaho Niue speeches. Tuapa Youth Waka Building Project Maintaining Our Cultural Heritage. Cricket slowly comes to a close as majority of the teams prepare for the finals. Last week, the Niue High Court made the determination onto the inquest into the death of Joseph Hafeikitama in 2013. After considering the evidence from the doctor and the police personnel who attended the unfortunate accident in 2013, Judge Wilson Isaac from New Zealand had concluded that Joseph Hafeikitama's sudden death was a result of cardiac arrest. The doctor who treated him at the scene of the accident reported that there was no blood where Joe had lacerations, meaning his heart unfortunately had stopped functioning before the accident happened. Although Mr. Makito's father-in-law, Dr. Harry Parker, queried the outcome of the inquest, Judge Wilson Isaac concluded that the cause of death was a result of cardiac arrest. Also in his summation of the inquest, Judge Isaac expressed his concern of the first police officer to reach the scene of the accident who could not administer CPR and strongly recommend the Chief of Police ensure the police personnel and new recruits undertake CPR training. A young man was very lucky to escape a jail sentence last week during the sentencing at the Niue High Court. Serious charges were brought against a young man who caused a major accident in 2015, which resulted in the medical evacuation of one of the victims. Although the young man's lawyer argued against his first-time offense and his contribution to his family and village, Judge Isaac concluded that due to the seriousness of the accident that resulted in a serious injury, charges were brought against the young driver that included a hefty fine of $500 paid to the court that is payable within 6 months, as well as $500 paid to each of the victims of the accident. Apart from the monetary charges, the court also revoked the young man's driving license for 12 months and ordered him to 50 hours of community services under police supervision. The court also ordered that the young man charged will not be allowed to apply for a restricted license until such time as ordered by the court. Under the legislation in which this young man was ordered is the highest charge of 5 years imprisonment. As a follow-up to last week's fruits and nuts inception workshop, horticultural consultant Brian Paxton, along with the Department of Agriculture, organized a practical demonstration workshop managing fruit and nut trees with local farmers and plantation owners. Over 20 farmers, commercial growers, and home gardeners participated in the practical presentation tour as they visited local plots with Brian, demonstrating better ways to help the fruit trees grow healthier and quality fruit. The tour began at the former Niue International Organic Farmers Association President Organically Grown Fruits and Vegetable Plots in Tuapa, Taufravalu Tukiuho's plot, and moved on to a fairly large banana plantation owned by Honourable Pokotosipili. The practical activity allowed Mr. Paxton to demonstrate and provide insights with the farmers on different methods to nurture the different varieties of fruit and nut trees.
We're going to farmers' properties where I'm able to show some demonstrations on pruning, pest control with citrus, potentially top working older trees, The banana patch we're in now, we've been able to sort of give some advice on suckering the trees, fertiliser program, taking care of the leaf disease ciguatera here by just a simple weekly pruning. They'll be able to utilise what they're growing much more efficiently in terms of more quality fruit, manage their soils better, again with mulching programs, control their pest problem fairly efficiently with organic pesticides, not totally organic but mostly. So sort of sum it up, and that they'll be able to manage first of all their pest problems. All round they'll get a better quality fruit. And they'll enjoy more what they're doing in that, because, it can become quite frustrating, when you see all the mealybugs, the pests on the fruit, and you don't know how to control it.
Brian Paxton is leaving this week and is expected to return in the next 3 months to introduce new fruit and nut trees from his orchard in the Cook Islands. Over 20 enthusiastic students took up the Wangahau Niue 2006 speech competition challenge yesterday to write a dialogue speech on a Niuean legendary character and interpret in a drama form. According to one of the judges, it was very exciting and a pleasure to watch students embrace their history. The number of female students that participated in the speeches dominated the male numbers, and the organizers hope the boys' numbers will increase in the coming years. The results for the Year 10 students that based the speeches on the legends of Taliu and Kulasea. Alia Sekia took up top honors. Second place went to Alafa Paike and third to Alex Ituata. For the Year 11 students, Raquel Tanaki won first place, second to Saraya Mangawa, and Janelle Totapu came in third. The Year 12 students was won by Timora Tongatule, second place Maravina Siohani, and Selina Tongatule grabbed third place to complete the competition. Building or making a traditional canoe is a monumental task, made even harder if one doesn't have the patience or the skills to do it. Some would say it's getting to an almost lost art, but the youth of Tuapa saw it as maintaining their cultural heritage. They began their waka building project in March 2015 with the Reverend Aifolia Pomale at the helm. However, his passing in July delayed the project until August. Reverend Pomale recognized the need to utilize the accessibility to the sea and for the Tuapa youth to embrace all the cultural aspects of Niue. It was, and still is, all part of his vision to mobilize them into fine young men with Christian values. The Office of the New Zealand High Commission provided them much-needed funds to acquire chainsaws, planks and fiberglass resin. They completed 4 canoes in time for the 30th celebration since the Tuapa Church was renovated. And according to the leader of the group, Jack Lakatani, they are now in the second phase of the project, which he anticipates should be completed within the next month or so before embarking on stage 3, that is cutting down another lot of trees for more canoes. Since the project began, the number of interest to actually make and own a canoe has escalated once they realize there is a lot to just making a canoe and going out fishing. It is part and parcel of sustaining their cultural heritage, and the camaraderie built during the journey is one to treasure. To end our news bulletin, the Niue cricket competition is near completion with results from the weekend's games. Last Saturday, Mutalo played Awasele in Mutalo. Awasele won with a score of 290 points to Mutalo's 201. Awasele batted first, and while Mutalo did well in their pursuit of Awasele's score, they fell short by 89 points. Tuapa played Lakepa in Lakepa. Tuapa scored a total of 61. Lakepa batted second and managed 202 in their 2 hours with 2 batters not out, beaten by the clock. Waiea played Makefu in Waiea. Waiea won with 310 runs. Makefu chased ended with a score of 150 runs. Liku played Tamakotonga in Liku. Liku won with a score of 303. Tamakotonga batting second and with time up can only manage a score of 202. Liku is leading Pool 2 and looking good to contest the championship at the end of the season. Pool 1 have yet to complete their games. Avaseli has completed all its games with 3 wins and 1 loss. There will be no more games this week, but the race to the top finish is heating up, with some villages still on edge for the final placings. That's our news bulletin for tonight. Good evening.